Close your eyes for a second. Imagine it's a Monday morning. Your alarm goes off at 6:47 a.m. You hit snooze, not because you're tired, but because you genuinely don't want to face the day. You drag yourself out of bed, make coffee you barely taste, sit in traffic for 40 minutes, walk into an office you didn't choose, sit next to people you didn't pick, and spend the next 8 hours doing work that someone else defined for you. You come home exhausted, eat something fast, scroll your phone for an hour and go to sleep. Then you do it again, and again, and again, for 30 years. Now imagine something different. It's still Monday morning, but there's no alarm. You wake up naturally around 7:30. The house is quiet. You make coffee slowly, deliberately, and you sit by the window and just think. Maybe you go for a run. Maybe you work on a project you actually care about. Maybe you call your mom or take your kid to school without rushing, or just sit there reading a book with nowhere to be. Nobody is waiting on you. Nobody owns your time. Your calendar is blank, and that blank calendar feels like freedom, not failure. What separates those two versions of your life? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even income necessarily. It's a number. And that number might be smaller than you think. That number is $500,000. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why $500,000 invested the right way is genuinely all you need to stop working forever. Not retire at 65. Not maybe someday. Now. Or very, very soon. Why most people have the wrong number in their head. Here's the problem. When most people think about retirement or financial independence or whatever they want to call it, they imagine some enormous mountain of wealth they'll never be able to climb. They've heard the headlines. You need $2 million to retire comfortably. The average retirement costs $3 million. Most Americans won't have enough. And so they look at their bank account, they look at their salary, they do some rough math in their head, and they give up. They decide the finish line is too far away and they stop running. But those numbers, the 2 million, the 3 million, are built on assumptions that have nothing to do with how a financially intelligent person actually lives. They're built on the assumption that you'll spend every single dollar you earn in retirement, that you have no flexibility, that you're dependent on a fixed income, that you're not investing wisely, and that inflation will eat you alive. Those assumptions are lazy. They're generic. They're designed for the average person who has never thought critically about money a single day in their life. You're not that person. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So let me introduce you to the framework that changes everything. It's called the 4% rule. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your savings the same way again. The 4% rule, the most powerful idea in personal finance. The 4% rule comes from something called the Trinity Study, a piece of financial research from the 1990s that looked at historical market data and asked a simple question. If you retire and start withdrawing from your portfolio, what withdrawal rate is sustainable enough that your money never runs out, even over a 30-year retirement? The answer they found was 4%. If you withdraw 4% of your portfolio per year, adjusted for inflation, your money will, based on historical data, survive virtually any market condition, including crashes, recessions, and prolonged bear markets. Your portfolio doesn't just survive. In most historical scenarios, it actually grows. Now here's where it gets interesting. If 4% is the safe withdrawal rate, that means you need 25 times your annual expenses saved to be financially independent. That's the math. You flip the 4% into a multiplier. 1 divided by 0.04 equals 25. So the question becomes, how much do you actually spend per year? And this is where most people never stop to do the real calculation. Let's do it now. The real math on $500,000. If you have $500,000 invested and you apply the 4% rule, you can safely withdraw $20,000 per year. That's $1,667 per month. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, Max, I can't live on $1,667 a month. And maybe in isolation, you're right. But hold on, because this is where strategy comes in. First, let's talk about where you live. If you're living in a high cost of living city, New York, London, San Francisco, Paris, then yes, $20,000 a year sounds impossible. But here's the thing that most financial content creators won't tell you. Financial independence doesn't require you to stay where you are. It requires you to optimize your life around what actually matters to you. There are incredible cities around the world: Lisbon, Medellin, Chiang Mai, Budapest, Porto, Mexico City, where $20,000 to $25,000 a year doesn't just cover the basics. It covers a genuinely excellent life, a nice apartment in a safe neighborhood, great food, healthcare, travel, community, culture. For many people, the life they'd live on $20,000 a year in Lisbon is objectively better than the life they're living on $80,000 a year in a stressful Western metropolis, just with less stress, less commuting, and infinitely more freedom. But let's stay conservative. Let's say you don't want to move. Let's say you want to stay in your current city or country. Even then, $500,000 doesn't have to be your only source of income. It's your foundation, your base, your safety net. The thing that means you never have to take a job you hate again. You can supplement it with part-time work you enjoy, freelance projects, a small online business, or even just occasional consulting in your field. The difference is, now that income is optional. You do it because you want to, not because your landlord is waiting. That psychological shift from "I have to work" to "I choose to work" changes everything about how you feel about money, about time, about your own life, how to actually build $500,000. All right, so now you're convinced the target is real. Let's talk about how to hit it, because $500,000 doesn't just appear. You have to build it. And the way you build it is through consistency, time, and the most powerful force in all of finance: compound interest. Let's run some real scenarios. If you're 25 years old right now and you invest $500 per month into a broad index fund, something like the S&P 500, which has historically returned around 10% annually before inflation, you'll hit $500,000 in approximately 25 years. That means you're done at 50. You stop working at 50. And your portfolio, left alone, continues to grow for the rest of your life. But what if you can invest more? If you invest $1,000 a month, you hit $500,000 in roughly 18 years. Start at 25, you're done at 43. Start at 30, you're done at 48. If you can invest $2,000 a month, which is aggressive but absolutely achievable if you're serious about this, you hit $500,000 in about 12 years. That means someone who starts at 28 and is disciplined could be financially independent by 40. These aren't fantasies. These are calculations based on historical market performance. The stock market is not guaranteed, of course. Past performance doesn't predict future results. You've heard that disclaimer 1,000 times. But here's the counterpoint. If you don't invest, your money loses value to inflation every single year. Guaranteed. The risk of not investing is actually higher than the risk of investing over a long time horizon. The vehicle, index funds, and why they win. Now, let's talk about where you actually put the money, because the vehicle matters almost as much as the amount, and the answer here is beautifully simple: broad, low-cost index funds. An index fund is essentially a basket of hundreds or thousands of stocks that mirrors a market index, like the S&P 500, which tracks the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States. When you invest in an S&P 500 index fund, you're not betting on any single company. You're betting on the entire American economy, and, in a broader sense, on the long-term upward trajectory of human productivity and innovation. Here's what makes index funds so powerful. They're cheap. The expense ratio on a Vanguard or Fidelity Index fund is often as low as 0.03% to 0.05% per year. Compare that to an actively managed fund, which might charge 1% or more annually. That difference sounds small, but over 25 years, it compounds into an enormous gap in your final wealth. Every dollar you pay in fees is a dollar that's not compounding for you. And here's the brutal truth about active fund management. Most actively managed funds underperform simple index funds over the long term. Not some, most. The majority of professional fund managers, with their Bloomberg terminals and their PhDs and their years of experience, cannot consistently beat the market. And yet millions of ordinary investors pay them premium fees to try. Don't be one of those people. Pick a low-cost index fund. Set up an automatic monthly investment. Don't touch it. Don't panic when the market drops. Don't celebrate too hard when it surges. Just stay the course. This is the strategy that builds wealth for ordinary people with ordinary incomes. The lifestyle design side. What you actually do with your freedom. Okay, so you've hit the number. You've got $500,000 in the market. The 4% rule says you can live off it. What now? What does your actual life look like? This is the part that nobody talks about enough, and I think it's the most important. Because a lot of people pursue financial independence without ever thinking about what they're running toward. They just know they want to escape, and when they finally get there, they sometimes feel lost, purposeless, like the goal was the destination and now there's no map. The solution to this is lifestyle design, building a clear, intentional vision of how you want to spend your time before you actually get there. Think about it this way. What would you do if you didn't have to work? Not for the first week. Everyone knows what they do the first week. Sleep, travel, decompress. But after 3 months, after 6 months, after a year, what would fill your days? For some people, it's creative work, writing, music, photography, building things. For others, it's family, being genuinely present for their kids in a way a 9 to 5 never allowed. For others, it's learning, picking up languages, studying history, reading every book they never had time for. For others, it's contributing, volunteering, building communities, working on problems that matter but don't pay well. The point is, financial independence isn't just about not working. It's about having the freedom to do what's actually meaningful to you. And $500,000 structured properly gives you that freedom. The biggest mistakes people make on the way to $500,000. Let's be honest about the pitfalls because the path isn't always smooth. The first and most common mistake is lifestyle inflation. You get a raise and instead of investing the extra money, you upgrade your apartment, your car, your wardrobe. Your spending expands to match your income, and you stay on the hamster wheel forever. The people who reach financial independence fastest are the ones who break this cycle, who keep their expenses flat even as their income grows, and channel that gap into investments. The second mistake is waiting for the perfect moment to start. People say, I'll start investing when I have more money, or I'll start investing after I pay off my student loans, or I'll start investing once things are more stable. The market doesn't care about your timeline. Every month you wait is a month of compounding you'll never get back. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. The third mistake is panic selling. The market will drop. It always does. In 2008, it dropped nearly 50%. In March 2020, it crashed over 30% in a matter of weeks. If you panic and sell at the bottom, you lock in those losses forever. You miss the recovery. You destroy years of progress in a single emotional decision. The discipline to stay invested through downturns is not just useful, it's essential. This is where index fund investing actually helps you psychologically, because you're not watching individual stocks. You're trusting the overall market, which has recovered from every single crash in history. The fourth mistake is overcomplicating the strategy. People spend years reading about options trading, cryptocurrency, real estate leverage, private equity, all in the hope of finding a shortcut. Sometimes these work, often they don't. And the time spent researching them is time not spent earning, saving, and investing in the simple strategy that works. Complexity is the enemy of execution. What $500,000 really means. Beyond the numbers. I want to close this out with something that goes beyond spreadsheets and compound interest calculators, because I think the real value of $500,000, the real reason to pursue this number isn't financial, it's human. Money at its core is a tool for buying time, and time is the only truly non-renewable resource you have. You can always earn more money. You cannot earn more time. Every year you spend working a job you hate is a year of your life that you will never get back. Every Monday morning alarm you dread is one more reminder that someone else controls your hours. $500,000 is the point at which you buy your time back. Not some of it, all of it. Your mornings are yours, your energy is yours, your attention is yours. You decide what's worth doing with the next 40 years of your life. Not a manager, not a shareholder, not an employer. You. That is not a small thing. That is everything. And the path to it is not reserved for people who were born rich, or who got lucky, or who work in finance. It's available to anyone who earns a moderate income, lives below their means, invests consistently, and gives it enough time. It requires patience. It requires discipline. It requires a willingness to delay gratification in the short term for a life of genuine freedom in the long term. But it is absolutely, mathematically, historically achievable. Your next step starts today. So here's where we land. $500,000 is not a fantasy. It's a target, a real, specific, achievable target that, if you invest consistently in low-cost index funds, control your lifestyle inflation, and stay the course through market volatility, you can reach in 12 to 25 years, depending on how aggressively you save. And when you reach it, you don't have to keep working. You don't have to keep trading your time for money. You can step off the treadmill, breathe, and actually build a life that reflects who you are and what you care about. The alarm that wakes you up on that imaginary Monday morning, you can silence it. Not eventually, not someday. With the right plan, starting today, sooner than you think. So here's my challenge to you. Figure out your number. Calculate what you actually spend per year. Multiply it by 25. And then look at the gap between where you are and where you need to be. And instead of feeling overwhelmed, feel motivated. Because now you have a map. You know the destination, you know the vehicle, you know the route. All that's left is to start driving. If this video gave you a new perspective on what financial independence actually looks like, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And drop in the comments, what would you do with your time if money wasn't the reason you worked?